Hi and welcome, I am Helle, and today I'm going to talk about Aito. This is a game for 2 to 10 players. It takes about 10 minutes to play and it's for the ages 8 plus. And I just want to show you this very cool game. First I'm going to explain the rules and then I will come with my impression of the game. And I can already say that I think this is a very, very cool party game. And it is very easy. I can teach you the rules like in 1 minute, I think, or less. Well, in this game, each player, they're going to get a number. And this is a number from 1 to 100. And then you're going to have an active player that is going to draw the first card from a stack here. And then as a group, you have to decide if you want to have this side or the other side. Superpowers you would like to have, or do you want things you really can't forgive? And that is forgivable, not forgivable. And do not want and want. So superpowers you would like to have. And then as a group you're going to discuss which of these two categories you would like. Maybe we are going to take the superpowers. So as a group we decided on the superpowers. Then we have the numbers here. We need to say something about this. Our number. We cannot show our numbers to anyone. We cannot talk about which number we have. We can't say any numbers in that way. But what we can say is, from the category here, we can say something that would give people an idea of what our number is. And that is everything everyone has to do, starting with the start player. And then we of course are going to look at our number. We can't say it to anyone else. So we have an 81. So we want to have a pretty good superpower, I think, because this is a pretty high number. So we're going to say something. It can be a sentence, it can be just one word, but we're going to say something about a superpower that we think will reflect the number we have. So I think we have to have a pretty good superpower. So what could our superpower be? Well, our superpower, then this is where it's hard. All players, they can at the same time think about what they want to give as a clue for the card they have. I think as a superpower, I would like to be able to fly. That could be my superpower, that I would be able to fly. I think that is pretty good. That is a pretty high one. But then the next player, they have to come up with something for the number they have. They have 64, so a little bit over average. What would a superpower a little bit over average be? And when they say their thing, then they can place it on either side. This side, if they think they have a higher card than we have, and on this side, if they think they have a lower number. Oh, by the way, when we put our card in, we're going to put this one underneath, so we know that this comes from the yellow player. And I think this player knows they're going to place it on this side of the flying, being able to fly. Maybe I would say my superpower should be that I can understand and speak all languages. But I think it's a little bit under the part of being able to fly. Maybe I would say that. And then the next player, they have to come up with something. And they have an under average superpower. So I think, now of course I know our numbers, but we might say that, what is our superpower then? It's under average, so it's not a super cool, do not want. So it's superpower that we don't want that much because it's less than 50. Maybe I'll just say our superpower is that we can't get sick. Maybe. Yeah. So I think that we're going to place there. Then all players, they're going to look at their cards, and then this one, oh, they want a really good superpower. Maybe a superpower would be that I can be invisible. And then we have one here, and they're going to say that their superpower is going to be... so you have to place it on the space where you think it's going to be correct. And maybe they think they are in between here, and they're going to say that maybe they are saying something. I can't think of something right now. I have to think of 5. That is also a lot. But when everybody has placed their card, and you can place it in any order, move the cards and place it in, then you as a group are going to talk about, do you think everything has been placed correctly? And then maybe these two might be in doubt if they are on the right side. They could change it. So they could change it to this side here. Just let's do a good example here. And then if everybody is happy, then you're going to reveal the cards, and you need to have them in the right order. And of course, because I know the cards, we now have them in the correct order. But when you play it, you're going to have so many fun talks and discussions about where your cards they are placed. And sometimes you will have some that are really, really close, only with 1 or 2 numbers in difference. It can be really hard to get those in the right order. But this is simply the game. You're going to give a clue to the card depending on the category you have, and then other players, they in turn, they have to place their card in the order, and they can place it anywhere. They just have to move the cards if they think they're going in between. And I think this is a brilliant, simple, fun game, and it is really fun, I think. All players that I've introduced this to have had fun with the game. It's so easy to explain, but so hard to think of what you're going to do for the different categories. How do you describe the number you have so other players can understand kind of where you are at with your number? Are you kind of in the middle? Are you a bit under the middle, over? Or are you really with a low number or with a high number? It's super fun, and there are so many different categories, and they are two-sided. So popular villains, historical figures, and so many different categories. And as I said, they are two-sided. Popular board and card games. This one would have been easier for the rating here, I think. But again, it can be very different for what people think are fun. And that is also the thing when you play this game, because how are you thinking? How are you rating this compared to what you feel or what you think other the common thought of things are? Are you going to rate from that or from what you think? So some fun discussions, and you're actually going to learn something about people when you play the game, and something about how they think. And there's also some family cards, so you can play a family edition of the game with beautiful things, popular candy, and famous cartoons. So you can play with the kids, with younger kids too, with these popular fairy tales. So there a lot of these families. And then there are some special ones. But there are only 3 of these cards in the one I have here. Funny sounds, popular songs, and think like a hero. What is your pose? Act it out and sing it and do it. And then funny faces, most ridiculous dance, and silly ways to walk. Some 6 extra cards you might be able to mix in with maybe the family-friendly one or with the other one. So you could spice it up a bit with these 2. But this is Aito, a super easy game, but where you're going to have lots of talks and lots of interaction in the game, and it takes about 10 minutes to play each game, and you need to get them in the correct order. And the more players you are, the more difficult I think it is to get the cards in the right order. But it's fun when you then manage to do so, to get them in the right order, even if you are a lot of players. So this reminded me a little bit of the Mind, but here you're just going to get 1 card. If you are fewer players or you think it might be too easy, you can have some players that are going to gain 2 cards, and then they would put 2 cards in, and they would have to give a clue for each of the cards that they're going to place in. So you can have 2 cards for each player if you want to make it even more difficult. So this is a game that is easy to take with you. It doesn't take up much space, and a game you can play when you have a lot of players, and maybe you are just in between games as a filler game, or just because you are sitting around and just want to have fun and do not want to play something complicated, or you are a lot of players, then this is a great game to pull out and play. And I'm going to rate this game with pink monsters from 0 to 5. If it gets a 3, then it's a good, decent game. I'm going to rate this game. I'm going to give it 4 pink monsters, because it's a super easy, simple little game, easy to get to table, and fun to play. That was my look at Aito. Thanks for watching.